I've owned my own gym for 15 years. In that time, I've generated well over £3 million worth of revenue, onboarded thousands of new members into the gym, and helped thousands of people lose weight, gain muscle, and whatever else they wanted to do. But in that time, I've also made some monumental mess-ups and some decisions that, looking back, weren't the best things to do with hindsight. And while hindsight can be a nice little reminiscence tool, it can also be a very good one for me to help you not make those same mistakes. So in this video, I'm going to go through some of the main mistakes that I made opening my gym and the decisions I've made along the way, which looking back, I would have done differently and I will do differently if those sorts of things come up again. And hopefully it will help you if you're a gym owner or if you're thinking of opening a gym to not make those mistakes, save yourself a bit of money and get some more members in, and hopefully save yourself some headaches along the way. What I will say is that these mistakes did help me become a better business owner, and you will make some mistakes along the way. It's inevitable that you will, but it's important that you learn from those things, as I've done, and not make those same mistakes again. None of these are in a particular order. None of them's like the worst mistake I made, and none of them's the best thing I did. They're just things you might want to consider if you own a gym or you're thinking of opening a gym in the future. Let's talk about gym software first. I've had a number of different gym management systems, and I can't say that I've used all of them, but I've used enough to know what the bad things to look out for are. And the thing about gym software is once you decide on using one of them, it's going to be a hassle, a massive hassle to change and have a different one, moving all your members across and setting up all the systems and the bank details and all that sort of stuff. So it's important that you get the right one. And I've made some real mistakes here, and it's cost me a load of time and money, and also finding out some of the things which they don't tell you when you're signing up. So here's the main things to look out for. Number one, you want a gym software system that integrates with something like Zapier or Make or something like that. What I'm talking about here is a software that has what's called an open API. And if you're not a techie person, and a lot of gym owners I talk to aren't, API basically allows you to link your software, your gym software, to another bit of software, either directly with a direct plugin or by apps called Zapier or Make, which allow you to bridge the difference between software if it doesn't talk to each other. An example of this is I use TeamUp for my gym software system, and I use Zapier to connect to my customer relations software, which is called Go High Level. So if someone joins a membership at my gym, Zapier will tell my Go High Level system that they've joined and send them a load of welcome emails and put them into a nurture sequence at the beginning so that they get told all about what the gym does and what it can do for them. Now you might be thinking, my gym software does this already because it's an all-in-one software. And that's the real red flag you need to look out for, because although a lot of gym software say they are an all-in-one and they do all these things, what you will find very quickly is a lot of them have really clunky emails, which some of them you can't even send yourself a preview of the email to see what it looks like. And a lot of the times it won't do the things that you want it to do. Even though it may be sending emails out for you, a lot of the time that ends up in spam or has have a 1% open rate because they use what's called a centralized domain to send all the emails out. When you send an email, it doesn't go from your club straight to your member. It goes from your club to a central hub where all the gym software emails are, and then it goes out to your members. And what that means for you in your gym revenue is that when you're sending out emails for your offers or sending out emails to your ex-members to say, hey, we've got this membership offer, do you want it? No one opens it and no one replies. So you don't make as much money. And that's a really important fact that a lot of gym owners don't consider is the monetization you can get from using email. And the reason why a lot of gym software do this, as in don't make their software available to link with anything else, is that they want to lock you in so that it makes it much harder for you to leave if you want to go somewhere else. Because if you've got to go to another gym software, you've got to take all your contacts, go over there, and then build all those automations, all those systems, all those notifications again. It's a brick wall to stop you leaving. And although I understand the business reason why they do that, it's not in your interest for building a better business, getting more members, and getting better engagement from your members. So the first take home is make sure your gym management software integrates with something via Zapier or Make, or integrates directly with a customer management system. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say if it integrates with MailChimp, that's as bad or probably worse than having its own system, because MailChimp is so clunky to use. It is just a nightmare whenever I'm trying to build systems for gym owners with MailChimp. It's just horrible. The big advantage to you for having your own customer relations software is that you don't have to fit into a box of what the gym software says you have to do in order to engage with your customers. If you can export your data out into another piece of software, you can build it absolutely bespoke to what you want to do for your members, which means you'll have a much better and stronger member connection. You'll retain more members and you'll convert more members from your 3-day trial or 5-day trial or whatever you have into long-term members. And I can prove this. I've done it with a couple of gyms where we've taken them away from their gym software all-in-one thing and then put them onto a standalone system, and instantly their membership signups go up. The next thing to consider is how you're going to take payments for your memberships. I've had in the past companies who collect my direct debits for me or my standing orders for me. The customer fills in a form either in the gym or online, and it goes off to the company and they collect all the payments for me. The problem you've got with that is, although it sounds good on paper, what actually happens is that you end up getting more hassle in the gym from people who've had a letter or a phone call from the collection company, and they've always got some excuse as to why they haven't paid, and they might be embarrassed because they haven't got any money in their account. And okay, we might get a few more collections, but actually what we found is by collecting the money ourselves and following up with missed payments ourselves, because it's not a lot every month that we have these missed payments, we actually get a better response from members because we're contacting them personally. The other thing to consider if you're outsourcing your payments to another company is that it's up to them if they give you the money or not. And that might sound a bit like, well, they've got to give me my money, haven't they? Because it's my money. During lockdown, a load of gyms weren't given their money that was collected from their members because the companies are saying, oh, we want to hold on to the money just in case people ask for a refund. And a lot of gyms got into real financial difficulty because the companies were withholding the money from them. And this is a real situation you can get in where the direct debit companies will say, oh, we're not going to give you the money because this person might issue a recharge. And so your cash flow is affected, which ultimately might lead to the closure of your business if you get too many of those. I switched all our payments from a third-party company through to Stripe and GoCardless, and we only use Stripe now because GoCardless is a little bit of a hassle. And Stripe is so much easier to use. We can refund anything within 24 hours or actually instantly if it goes out. The payments are instant, and we don't get as many direct debit recharges as we used to get with GoCardless. And the other thing that's really important is that with Stripe, we get our money within 2 to 3 days. And yes, people can still do like credit card recharges on Stripe and say, oh, I cancel membership, but they didn't cancel it for me. It's very rare that that happens. Most of the time, people contact us saying, oh, can I have a refund? And in most cases, we'll say yes if it's a legitimate request. The other thing to consider here as well is hidden charges. During lockdown, I was using a bit of gym software where they had a Stripe integration. What I didn't know for about 2 years is that every time this company was taking a payment, they were adding something like a 0.1% charge onto any Stripe transactions. The only way I found this out was I was doing a due diligence check on the financials, and my gym coaching company is separate from my gym company. And I was looking at payments which were the same amounts, let's say £40 for each one. And I noticed that on £40 for my gym, I was getting less paid to the bank than I was on a £40 payment for my coaching. And I didn't understand why. And I contacted Stripe about this and I said, why is one different from the other? And they said, there's a admin charge on the gym one from the company that's managing your gym software. They did not have that on their website saying that it was in place. And I can prove this because I've got the screenshots. They do now, but only because I raised it with them. And during lockdown, they were applying this to all the gyms that they were working with while telling them that they were in their corner. And although I was paying a software management fee to this company, they had these extra charges on and hadn't told everybody. Suffice to say, I cancelled that software very, very quickly. But that's the other thing to look out for when you're looking at management software, gym management software, is if they are collecting for you and if they are using Stripe on your behalf, Are they adding any hidden charges which they're not telling you about? The next thing I learned really, really quickly about owning a gym is that you shouldn't try to appeal to everybody. When we first opened ministry, I tried to appeal to absolutely everybody, saying it was fitness for all and everybody could come here and have the best workout. What I found out very quickly was actually not everyone can come to ministry and have the best workout. Even though we had a matted studio with martial arts mats on, we got complaints from the martial arts people that there weren't enough punch bags. And we got complaints from the people who use the studio that the floor was too soft, so they couldn't do certain workouts. Even though we had a load of cardio equipment, we got complaints from the people who do cardio that we didn't have enough, or it wasn't the latest high-tech stuff with all the TVs and everything on. And we got complaints from the bodybuilding people that there was too much cardio and there wasn't enough lifting machines. And it was causing me a bit of a headache, and I was getting spread thin on my finances as to where I was going to spend my money. So we decided we were going to go down a very specific route. We were going to offer the best weightlifting kit and the best bodybuilding kit and the best kit for sort of strength and muscle development. And we were going to offer cardio, but it wasn't going to be treadmills with like TVs and all that other stuff on. It was just going to be the things to get the job done, to make sure people had a good workout. And we went down the family route where we said we were going to have families coming in and we provide a membership to under 16s for free, and 16 to 18-year-olds have a reduced membership, so that we can build that family atmosphere inside the gym so people feel part of a community. And that's been really great for us. We're now known for these things. People come specifically to us for those things. And if people want, a sauna and a jacuzzi and all that other stuff, that's fine. There's other gyms to do that. But we're well known for being a family gym with really great kit and a really supportive community. Every 6 months, we survey our members and we say, what do you want? What's missing? And the most popular answers, that's where we go down. And that's actually allowed us to grow much, much faster than trying to service everybody. So being very specific about who you service and what results you can get for people will pull people in who are interested in what you sell and repel people who aren't interested in that. And that's a really good thing. Yes, it might bite you right at the beginning. Not everybody will join. But once you build that community, you'll find that members join a lot faster and stay for a lot longer. Let's talk about membership structure next. And this sort of ties in with what we talked about before with not trying to appeal to everybody. But a lot of gyms have about 6 or 7, maybe 10 types of memberships that people can get. They can get like blue light, student OAP, couples memberships. They can get all these other different things. And the problem with that is that although you think you're giving more choices to people so that more people will sign up, actually what you do is make it more confusing for people, because instinctively your customers are going to scroll all the way through and try and find the right membership for them and actually get really confused about, oh, do I need this? Do I need that? Do I need the elite membership? Do I need the gold membership? Will I use the off-peak or the brown membership? And it just gets really confusing. We used to have a ton of memberships. We used to have platinum. We used to have off-peak. We used to have student and all those other things. And actually, what we did was just scrap it all and just go for a really simple choice architecture for our memberships. We only have about 3 main options people can have. They can either join for the year, they can pay per month, or they can do a day pass. And while you might think that that's going to put people off, actually, it reduces our drop-off rate for people who are coming onto our website, and we get more sign-ups now than we ever did having all the different options, because it's really clear. I want to pay per the year, I want to pay per month, I want to pay for a day. And what you find is that people have this varying level of commitment. They'll come for a day pass, do a few day passes, and then they'll decide to join for the monthly because they can cancel at any time. And then once they've been there for a few months, they decide, actually, it makes more financial sense if I buy for the year up front. And so they do that and they become a long-term member. And we still get people asking us, do you do students? Do you do blue light? All this other stuff. And we say, well, no, actually we don't, because we have a system where we've capped our membership at a certain amount of members. And once you explain that to people and say, actually, the advantage is you're not waiting for kit. You're not going to be queuing up for stuff. The gym's not overly busy because we've capped the membership. People tend to prefer that rather than discounting a £5 off their membership per month. And I've done a whole video on pricing and how that matters and all the things you can incorporate it. It's showing up here somewhere. And while we're on the subject of discounts and pricing discounts, I stopped doing all membership deals, all discount deals. We used to offer membership deals like if you sign up for a year, you get a free tub of protein, or if you refer a member, you get a free tub of protein, all these sorts of things. We did memberships where if you bought 12 months, you would get 2 months free. We did all these different types of discounted. We've even done the one where it's only £10 for your first month, same as all the other commercials do. And what we found is that actually people who did sign up on a discount they churned faster than people who signed up at the normal rate. And the industry data does seem to support that more broadly. According to a report summarizing gym membership retention stats, 58% of new members sign up due to promotions or discount, but 30% of them cancel once the promotion period ends. So you might sign up people for a few months, but then they're gone and your cash flow takes a massive hit. And also, members who signed up during the January sales events showed a 45% higher churn rate than those joining at other times. Now, you've got to consider the other data here is that people who join within the first 3 months, 50% of them do tend to leave. And January is one of the biggest times of the year for people to join. But it's still supporting my premise that if you give a discount to somebody, they're not going to respect the value of the product enough, and that they're going to be more willing to cancel in the future. And also, someone who is willing to pay the full price is not someone who has made a decision on price, as in they haven't bought the membership because it's discounted. They've looked at the value of your gym and bought at the price because they thought it was good value. Most of the gym adverts I see are 50% off your first month, or your first month for £10, or don't pay anything till November or something like that. And when you are making an offer based on a discount, you're attracting people who want a discount, you're attracting deal seekers, and they're more likely to give you hassle, and they're more likely to leave when they find a better offer. The only time we ever do a discount is on Black Friday, where we have 4 days where you can get the membership for a vastly reduced price. And we do an offer if someone comes for a day pass and they join within 7 days, they get that day pass money back. So essentially they have had a free day. But we don't do discounts as a matter of course. And it hasn't harmed our membership at all. Our retention rates are far above what the industry average is. And a final note on membership and pricing, we don't do a cash monthly option, as in people can come in, pay £49 cash and use the gym for a month. The reason for this is because over the course of the years, we have wasted hundreds, if not thousands of hours chasing people for memberships. And what happens is you get people falling into this old routine of, oh, is my membership due? Oh, I'll pay next time. Is that okay? And what they do, they come in the next time, it's a different member of staff, and then they go, oh, yeah, I didn't know my membership was due. I'll pay next time. Is that okay? And so they carry this on for a couple of weeks until they get caught out by visiting when the same staff member's there who goes, hold on, I told you about this 2 weeks ago. So they go, oh, okay, yeah, I have got the cash on me. I'll pay now. And then they hit you with, oh, but it will start from today, won't it? Because I'm paying from today. And then you've got to have the argument of, no, actually, you came 2 weeks ago, so you've got to pay from then. And this happens so many times, and it was always the same people. And we were like, do you know what? Just no. And we stopped it completely. We said direct debit is the only option you can pay monthly, or you can pay up for the year up front. And do you know what? Although we had an initial people complaining, and it was obviously the people complaining who liked doing that, oh, I'll pay when I want to type of scenario, the majority of people just said, yeah, fine, I'll pay by direct debit. Because when you think about it, everybody pays their bills by direct debit. You pay your phone bill, your rent, your car tax now, your car insurance if you don't pay it up for the year. All these things are paid by direct debit. And you don't go off to them and say, oh, can I pay you next week because, I've got some money then. So why should it be the same thing for gyms where people are coming very regularly and forming a habit out of this, and they're trying to stop you getting the money for your business? And as soon as we stopped it, we did get 1 or 2 people leave. But actually, the vast majority of people just said, yeah, that's fine, I'll pay by direct debit. And now we have very predictable cash flow. We don't have ups and downs through the month where we're chasing people for money. And we know exactly what our membership numbers are and the membership money we can expect to come in on certain times of the month. And the other good thing is we get much more stable cash flow around the quiet months, such as July, August, and December, because people have a direct debit coming out, so they're more likely to come into the gym to use the membership they paid for. The last big mistake I made when I opened my gym, and I'll kick myself hundreds of times for doing this or not doing this, is I didn't have Facebook ads in place or running when I opened my gym. I was very arrogant thinking that, people would come to my gym anyway. I don't need to advertise because my business is so good. Word of mouth will do enough for me. It will do all the advertising for me. Well, that doesn't really follow when you consider that Apple is one of the biggest companies in the world, and they still advertise even though everybody knows about their phones. And Rolex are always advertising, even though in most cases you can't just walk into a Rolex store and buy a Rolex. So if those premium companies are still advertising and they're making millions and millions of dollars a year, why shouldn't I be advertising when I own a gym and I certainly don't make millions and millions of dollars a year yet? And I think part of this stems from the fact that a lot of gym owners don't understand Facebook ads, and it's very confusing. And a lot of the time they might have used like an ad agency who has set up the ads for them, and nothing has happened apart from their bank balance going down. And that is very, very common. I see this happen a lot when I'm talking to gym owners, is that they've taken on a company to do their Facebook ads for them or manage their social media for them, and the returns are very, very minimal. And to be honest, I'm not surprised when I see some of the adverts and how they're set up, because there's no targeting, there's no demographics. The adverts are very generic. They're probably cut and pasted from ChatGPT. But the reason that happens is because people don't understand Facebook ads and how they work, and so they prefer to pay someone else to do it. And that person is just laughing because they know the gym owner doesn't know anything about it. So they can just say to them, oh, you just got to put more money in and more leads will come in. So if I was going to do this from scratch, I would have a 4-stage Facebook ad setup, which would be the pre-launch, which would be saying to people, hey, my gym's opening. Here's what we're going to do. Maybe some screenshots of the kit and the location and the building and all that sort of stuff. Create that knowledge that the gym is about to open, and we're going to open in, say, 3-4 months. And so people can then click a link to register to get told more about the gym. And that's really important, because as those adverts run, you start building up a list of all the people that potentially might be coming to your gym, and you can start to talk to them, have conversations with them, invite them in to see the gym being built. This is something we did at Ministry. We didn't do this on ads. We did it on our Facebook profile. Say, come down if you want to see the gym being built. And people do want to do that. And people who get involved right from the beginning are more likely to stay as members and join as members, because right from the beginning they've been involved and see the gym being built. It's almost kind of like the IKEA effect, where you're part of something, see something being built, so you appreciate it more and you've got a bigger bond with it at the end. And some of our members who did come down and see the building work going on, they are still our members 15 years later. And that would tie into the second phase, is when the gym's about to open, you would maybe offer a early bird signing on discount, which is probably the one time I would offer discounts for a gym membership. We offered a founder membership at Ministry, which was slightly discounted from the normal one, and we only offered about 50 of those. And we did get people signing up, and it all sold out within a couple of weeks. What that allows you to do is to have starting capital, because when you first open the gym, it's going to be a cash flow nightmare while you're still building up your memberships. And then the third phase of the adverts would be once people have come into the gym and they've been a member for a few weeks, you can interview them and get their feedback and say, what do you like the most about the gym? You take those quotes, or you take those interviews if they're happy to be on film, and you put that into your adverts saying, this is what our new members think about our gym. Come and see what all the fuss is about. Get a 3-day trial here. And they click on that and they be into your nurture sequence on your customer relations software, which would be separate from the gym software you bought, which doesn't do those things as well. And then the fourth stage of the Facebook ads would be to do what we do now, is that we regularly survey our members, regularly get interviews of our members, and those interviews and those quotes go into our advertising and say, this is what our members think about the gym. Here's some photos of the gym. Here's some photos of our members. And this is actual people. It's real people. It's not stock photos. And then people can see the people like them. So we're getting that niche effect of, this is a gym for people like you. If you want to be part of that gym, come down, have a free trial, and then see if it is the gym for you. So those are some of the things I would do differently if I was opening my gym again. And it's certainly some of the things I look at when I'm working with other gym owners to see how can we streamline their business, how can we improve cash flow, how can we get more members in, and how can we get better conversions on their free trials when people come in to sample the gym. This is by no means an exhaustive list. If I had a list of all the things I would do differently, it'd probably be about a 3-hour-long video. But those are the main things I see with the gym owners I'm working with as to how we can make some really quick changes to get some really good results back. I hope that was helpful if you own a gym. And if you're thinking about opening a gym, I would definitely recommend you apply some, if not all of those techniques, because it will make your startup a lot less stressful. You'll get more members in, and further down the line, you're going to get a lot less headaches. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, there's another video somewhere around here, which that YouTube thinks might be of interest to you. Bye for now.